All right, team, what's going on? I'm Tim Jenkins, and welcome to All Things QB and the Ask Tim Jenkins Show, co-hosted by my buddy Adam Byrne, who's off screen. You can follow him on Twitter at @ABJenkinsElite. So do that. Let's get him some followers. But hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. We're huge FTA guys, which means comment for the algorithm. Like this video so other people see it. But without further ado, we'll start jumping in and answering some of the questions you left on last week's video. Adam, take us away, buddy.
You don't want to go over your picks first, as far as last week's?
What was I?
10-6,
10-6 last week.
21-11 on the season.
21-11, and we'll do picks at the end. So let's answer
I'm just talking.
first.
I was just talking about in general. You want to highlight your greatness.
I do. I like that. That's
I know.
great.
All right, so picks. Starting off, we got, with Montel playing so well on special teams, what are some ways we can use him in the offense to give it some life?
I'm guessing it's a Broncos fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they could potentially use him like in 10 personnel, right? And get him opposite slot of KJ. I don't think that's the priority, though. I think the priority would be getting KJ Hamler on the field more for the Broncos. So, solid question, but I don't think it's as pressing an issue as getting KJ out there.
Will KJ be able to get on the field after breaking his helmet last week?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But, yeah, it's tough.
That's a personal question. That wasn't by the people.
Love
All right,
that.
here we go. Next one. With news of Russell Wilson having that lat injury, could that explain some of the inaccuracies against the Colts?
I mean, sure, yeah, I could explain some of the inaccuracies, but I don't think it can explain the missing progressions, right? Or having guys that are open and, hey, my eye should be here, and then missing them. So I think maybe, yeah, it explains some of the issues from just blatantly throwing the ball. But I'm not sure that I think it explains the more pressing issue, which is, hey, why are my eyes in certain places on certain plays, especially even just the last play that you could win the game with KJ. So, yeah, I think it can explain some of it, but everyone in the NFL is playing hurt.
I guess what a better way to almost rephrase that is, with that injury, is he kind of in his head with that injury?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Next one. Do you think they should get Jalen Vigil and Kendall Hinton more involved in the offense? And
No.
finally, is there any running backs you see that could be like a Javonte?
No and no.
I mean, you don't think Kendall Hinton get a little quarterback rep? I mean, man was promising.
Yeah, he was.
Should the Broncos get more creative in the running game without Javonte? Like motions, receivers lined up in the backfield like you'll see sometimes?
Yeah, I don't think they need to be more creative outside of potentially getting into RPO. And by potentially, I mean they definitely should get into RPO. They need to do more the like, hey, we're going to run the ball, or we have this pass option, but I don't want true pass options. I want the Green Bay run solutions that they have backside of runs. I want them front side, and then Russ, let him read it out. That's exactly how I would design it.
How about going under center in the red zone for creativity? For running the ball.
Is that a question, or is that no? Is that
That's an Adam statement.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could definitely could.
All right, back to a real question. My question is this. Is there a world in which Russ becomes a great pocket passer going through progressions and picking teams apart? Is it realistic to think that he might take a leap in this being his 13th season, or are we kind of screwed for the next 7 years and things will eventually go south?
Yeah, interesting question. Yes, I do think guys can improve certain aspects of their game. So Russell being a pocket passer, I don't think it's like fair to make the judgment yet on if he is actually going through his progressions, because we're not but 5 games, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks into the season of him running this offense. So I don't think anyone saw him in Seattle and was like, when he played for Schottenheimer, the question wasn't like if he could go through progressions. I think he can definitely go through progressions. I just think it's like we got to give him time in this offense. In terms of like, will Russell Wilson be as elite level quarterback playing from strictly the pocket and progressing through plays as he was when he was mobile in his younger days? Like, that would maybe be the more debatable question. And I think the answer is like to be determined. But I do think guys can. I think guys can get better at that throughout their career, regardless of what stage they're in. And then I think anyone who's been a successful NFL quarterback is probably more than likely going to do it versus someone who's young and we're projecting doing it.
Fair. Or do you think they could bring someone in who could help scheme a quote-unquote Russell Wilson style offense?
Yeah, but the issue with that would be like, how long do you think he's going to be Russell Wilson of old? You know?
Well, I have a lot of draft picks saying hopefully he's not. So that's just my opinion as a Seahawks fan. All right. Is there anything you would advise Tua to do as far as avoiding getting those horrendous hits?
No. It's the NFL. It's a violent game. It sucks that he went down. I love Tua. Love his game. Love what the Dolphins were doing. But the NFL is a violent game. There's nothing that there's nothing in Tua's game that you could say he needs to stop doing. Like, people are going to act as if he holds onto the ball for a long time. He really doesn't. People are going to act like whatever. You're out there trying to make a play. It's one thing if you're like actively running downhill and like lowering your head in terms of like, hey, you could coach that out of a quarterback, but like there's nothing into his game that you could really coach. Just that's the way it shakes out, man.
All right. And then a flat out, can we get more Zach Wilson breakdowns?
Yeah, I'd love to work Zach in if the video numbers start popping off. The issue is I have to do the Cowboys currently. We'll see if I can weasel my way out of that deal. But I have to do the Cowboys, and that video barely gets 1,000. Zach Wilson kind of is doing pretty decent, I think. I think we're up at like 4,000 or 5,000. So, yeah, I'd love to do Zach Wilson more as long as the views keep coming in. The for sure people are when Tua's back, Tua's in, Russell's in, and Justin Fields is in. Those are locked in stone because those fan bases have been so good to us. The Jets could earn their way in there. They could.
Now, could this be, follow-up question from me, fall season, busy season, Thanksgiving, Halloween, lots of things to set up. Could it be that those viewers are just in PTA meetings right now, and that's what's stopping the Russell Wilson train right there? A lot of moms out there. Busy time of year.
Zach
PTA.
Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, no, that video's doing well. So no. That would be a bigger argument that that's what the Cowboy fans are doing, Adam, because the Cowboy one's the one that's struggling.
Well, Cowboys, there's a lot of reasons for that. All right, next one. Question. My question is, was there more of a pure progression reads for Justin Fields in this last game?
Yes. Yeah. Very short answer is yes. Long answer would be watch the breakdown. We talk about a lot of them.
All right. And then our last question, also Fields related. Did Fields really figure it out, or did he play against a soft shell Mickey Mouse defense last week in the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? Like, hey, it wasn't the best defense. But the Fields, what was impressive about his performance wasn't the end result, right? Like, I don't typically cover like end results. I'm not like, wow, this guy threw for this many yards. Like, no, I don't care. The bigger thing was he had 2 bad clips, right? So when you look at it from like hey, you got 12 good, 2 bad that we cover, that puts you in an echelon of like where Tua was before the injury, which was darn good football. Like Josh Allen in week 1 had 1 or 2 bad clips. So to me, that's what's more impressive, and that's where it's like, hey, is he figuring it out? Well, less eye errors, things like that would indicate that, yeah, he is figuring it out. So, yeah, sure, anytime you play against a bad defense, you're more than likely, I guess, to have less bad clips. But to me, it's like the way he's processing the game, getting in and out of run plays, that's what's impressive to me. I don't care about, like, how many points he put up for your fantasy football team. So I don't think like the defense is as impactful when it comes to an actual grade as, maybe it seems on like the box score.
Fair. All right. Well, now we are on to the picks.
Really exciting.
Really excited. Starting out with Thursday night football. The Commies versus the Bears. The Bears are going bright orange jerseys. It's in Chicago.
Yeah, Bears by 14.
14, all right. Next one we got Giants-Ravens. Giants at home.
Ooh, that's a sneaky good game, I think.
That's a blue-collar game. Is what that is.
Because I think the Giants are playing better football, and they just beat Green Bay. No bye week after London for them is interesting. Let's go Giants.
Ooh.
That's probably an upset too, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't have the spreads on here.
Yeah, let's go Giants.
All right, next one we got Colts Jags in Indy.
Jags. And they need it. The
All right.
Colts do too, but I just think the Colts are. I mean, they just beat the Broncos, but I think they're just a bad team. But yeah, Jags.
All right. Could that be the reason more the Colts being a bad team more than the Jags needing it is why you're
I
picking
don't
the
know.
Jags?
I just think the Jags are better than what's gone on lately. That's what I think.
Fair. Next one we got Browns Pats.
Browns, Patriots.
Still Bailey Zappi.
But Patriots beat the Lions with Bailey.
And capped all their kneecaps.
Let's go. Where is it, Adam?
Cleveland.
Pats.
All right.
On the road.
Bill Belichick was the Browns coach at one point.
Yeah. And he probably just hates them.
Fair enough. All right, next one we got Bengals Saints in NOLA.
Bengals.
Flat out. All right.
Not a lot of commentary. Bengals.
All right, here we go. Now we got Bucks Steelers at Pittsburgh. Talk about a team that needs a win.
Steelers in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett, people are saying part of his moxie is that he's willing to fight you. But no one's willing to fight you more than TB12. Give me the Bucks.
I like it. I like it. Here we go. Falcons, Niners.
Also, did you see the Bulls
No.
press conference? You should look it up. It's interesting. It's interesting. Bulls take on. He's just a coach. He's not. Whatever. Let's keep going.
I'll look at that. All right, next one we got.
People are making political. If people are making it political, it's not political. I just think it was interesting commentary from Todd Bowles. Look it up if you haven't seen it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, here we go. Falcons, Niners.
Falcons, Niners. Oof.
In Atlanta. So Niners are going across the country. Nick Bosa is out.
Niners. Jimmy G. Jimmy G keeps the train rolling.
Will Jimmy G stay out of the end zone, or the back of the end zone, I should say? This game?
Yeah, he will. He will.
Which one was worse, you think? His or Orlovsky's?
Orlovsky's by a mile. Jimmy stepped on it as like part of like a footwork pattern where I'm gonna back and like I'm gonna punch back and try to get to it. Orlovsky just ran out of it. Huge, major difference in my opinion.
Fair. All right, we got your boy Zach Wilson
Taking on
the Packers.
Jets Packers.
Packers.
Did you not have that written down?
No, I did. No, I was thinking of something funny to say, and I thought I already made that ayahuasca joke last week. So let's play that.
Okay, so Jets Packers. Where are we? Green Bay.
Yep.
You gotta go Packers. You got to.
All right, here we go, and we got Vikings Dolphins.
Vikings. Last game the Dolphins lose. Tua comes back. They win the next week.
Okay.
Against the Steelers.
Most important game of the whole slate this week.
Yep.
PJ Walker and the Panthers taking on the Rams.
PJ.
That'll boy.
Panthers. Yeah, by 14.
All right. Next, we're going with Cardinals Seahawks.
Cardinals Seahawks. I keep picking the Cardinals, and they keep letting me down, which then makes me think now when I pick the Seahawks that it'll be the Cardinals will win.
It's in Seattle.
Yeah, but I think the Cardinals finally figure it out. Geno Smith's playing really good football, though, which is kind of like funny in this whole landscape of what's going on with Russell. But there's just game, they'll go and they'll beat the Lions in a shootout, and then didn't they lose last week?
Also in a shootout.
Yeah, like they just are having these weird. It's been a weird season for them, I think. Like I can't put my finger on it. They beat Denver in kind of a tight game, play good defense. Then the Lions, and then the Lions get shut out by the Patriots, or I don't know if it's shut out, but blown out. They're weird to me, but so are the Cardinals. This is one of those games that I really could see going either way. I'm going to pick the Cardinals, though, because I figure if I pick them every week, at some point, that's going to be correct.
Fair. I feel like the Cardinals are one of those teams that does better in a shootout, too, than Cliff Kingsbury actually having to be a football coach and make hard decisions.
Well, yeah, and Seattle screwed me last week, too. because I picked them in New Orleans. So it's not like either of them are on my good side. So I think we just have to pick Arizona and bet that like they have more to play for. But I don't even know if that's true. But let's just go Arizona and move on.
All right, here we go. Ooh, another great. If PJ wasn't involved, this would be the matchup of the week. We got Bills Chiefs at Arrowhead.
If who wasn't involved?
If PJ wasn't involved in the Panthers Rams game, this, in my opinion, would be the game of the week.
Bills Chiefs
in Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead. Bills are favored. Did you know that?
Yeah, everyone loves Josh Allen.
I'm going home dogs. Chiefs.
All right, next one we got the boys and the Eagles. Sunday Night Football.
The Eagles have been giving me fits too because I picked against them 2 straight weeks to end the undefeated streak, and they keep it going. Which means if I pick them this week, they'll definitely lose. So I'm going Cowboys.
That's a hot take. It's a real hot take.
I have to imagine the Cowboys are not the favorite.
No, I don't believe so.
But, like, I don't know. I just have a hard time believing the Eagles are for real. I just really do. And this isn't, like, a knock on the Eagles. It's just, like, the Eagles beat the Cardinals last week, right?
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys win over the Rams is more impressive.
Fair.
Who's home? The Eagles?
Eagles.
Yeah, of course they are. Cowboys.
And everyone's favorite Monday night game, the Broncos at the Chargers.
Just what the world wanted, another primetime Broncos game. Broncos are traveling to the Chargers, so they're going to avoid the home boo birds.
Debatable.
And they're going to put up their first big offensive performance of the season, Broncos, by 10.
You mean they're going to score 10 points?
By 10. And you know why I really think this?
Because it'll still be a home game because no one goes to Charger games?
Potentially. Mostly that I think the Chargers head coach is potentially the most overrated guy from a media perspective that we've ever had as a coach. And it's only because he gave like 3 Ted Lasso-like answers and all the fake blue check marks with 500 followers went and ran with it and loved it. And it's just like, this guy's making egregious football decisions. You think Hackett's made some bad decisions, okay, in his first 5 games as head coach? Go ahead and look what the Chargers did last week against the Browns. It was terrible.
You don't have to tell me I think Staley is the clown of all clowns myself.
So whatever, yeah, I'm just like, I think it's not like there's a coaching advantage there. And then I think the Broncos, I'm hoping that the Broncos are just pissed off enough to figure it out. And they win by 10.
All right, well, that's the week slate.
That's the week slate. So, yeah, what am I overall, Adam?
We are
20.
We are overall 21-11. Strong.
That's not bad.
Strong.
So 21-11. We'll keep it rolling. Guys, I hope you enjoy these. Comment for next week. So comment questions that you have, and I'll answer them for next week. And then let me know what you think of the picks and who you think's going to win. So until next time, for me and Adam, peace.